What's going on, you sexy bitches? Welcome to the Aftershow for Ash vs. the Evil Dead. Today we will be discussing Episode 4, Brujo. And unfortunately, Roger was not able to join us this week, so it's just going to be good old Homer, but Roger should be back in the next week or so. But until then, let's get this bad boy started. And then the show picks up with the mysterious woman we saw from the last episode. She saves the day, and then she begins to team up with the African American cop lady. And we get to learn a little bit more about her. Yet, like, when she's about to reveal what she really is, she cuts off the head of the Deadite. Then we get to Ash and Pablo and Kelly driving down. Then a sandstorm-looking motherfucker, which apparently turns out to be just pure evil, starts chasing them. And the best solution they came up with, which was pretty funny, honestly, was when Ash activates the nitrous on his like old school car, hauling this RV behind them. Anyways, they finally escape the gas cloud of pure evil or whatever, and they meet Pablo's uncle, which is the Brujo. And then Pablo's a little bit down about where he was in life, like working at a superstore. But then a hilarious line I found was when Ash retaliates with, "You were in electronics, that's the big time, you should be happy about yourself." And that was pretty funny, to be honest. But for the most part, this first half of this episode is a lot of exposition, just a lot of plot details leading up. But then it gets pretty hilarious because the shaman, or the Brujo as you will, gives Ash ayahuasca. And for you less educated people out there in the drug world, ayahuasca is basically the equivalent to DMT. And DMT is pretty much a guaranteed out-of-body experience, the hardest trip available. But DMT only lasts for 15 minutes. But in that 15 minutes, it feels like you've been tripping for hours. Ayahuasca is the same, however, it lasts 8 hours. So I've never personally tried it. I'm waiting for a later period in my life, just in case I have a terrible trip or something of that matter. Maybe try DMT first. But that's to each his own. Honestly, I thought our show Stoner Man was going to be the first show ever to introduce ayahuasca into any television series. I'm glad the show that beat us to the punch was Ash vs. Evil Dead. But when Ash starts tripping, he makes the classic first-timer mistake. He's like, I'm not really feeling it. I think I had a lot of bread this morning. Must be absorbing it. And that's classic first-timer mistake. Always too eager to start tripping. Can't wait for it to kick in. Always ends up taking too much. Luckily, the shaman stops him, but I just thought it was funny. But he was asking for a puff off of his, I don't even know. They never clarify what he was smoking. I can only assume a blunt or a joint. He asked for a hit of that, but still nothing. But when he finally starts to trip, that's when the episode starts to get really funny, actually. Like, he starts seeing an eyeball in the shaman's mouth. He's like, "Bro, don't eat the eyeball. Please don't. Why would you eat it?" And then, like, he starts seeing all these nostalgic things. And I just gotta say, it's been years since I've seen Felix the cat in anything, reference in anything. So that was really awesome. Then it goes really bad. You find Ash with his eyes sewn shut, people attacking him. And basically, he controls his trip throughout until we find out Kelly and Pablo finally get some alone time this episode. However, Pablo blows it by being a shy, awkward guy. Can relate to that. So he doesn't really get to put the moves on, but they basically want to make a replacement hand for Ash. But also, we learn this episode that the evil bitch, the red-haired bitch, has his real hand. And it's responding for the first time in years. How she got the hand, why she has the hand, still has yet to be seen. But we find out that Kelly was possessed from the demon that from the previous episode. And he was, in the last episode, did state he preyed on the weak-willed and whatnot. So he's inside Kelly's mind. Kelly makes his way to Ash. The demon invades his trip. Basically, Pablo has to knock him out because in his trip, he visualized him strangling the demon, but in reality, he was choking Kelly. So Pablo comes up, knocks him out, and saves the day. And then the episode ends us finding out Kelly's still possessed, and it leaves on that cliffhanger. And I'm pretty excited for the next week's episode, to be honest. And using our very special marijuana-based rating scale. I'm going to have to... Really, it's resin, the residue that you don't want to smoke. That's the worst case scenario. Then we move up to mids. That gets your quick fix. Maybe it's for some people. Then we got dank, gets you thoroughly baked. Means we love the episode. We recommend you see it. But a wax, that is when you're so high off your ass you can't even move. This is the ultimate in fixation. This is a must-see right now. That would be a wax or aka a dab. And for this week's episode 4, I'd probably I'd give it a solid dank. The way Sam Raimi does his stuff is really awesome. Like, there's subtle hints that Kelly's possessed without the episode that just went right over my head. Like, when she first enters the place, the artifacts that the Brujo had lying around really affected the demon, you could tell. At first I was like, oh, I don't know. And when Kelly vomits at the beginning of the episode, I was just like, oh, that's gross, why is this even in there? Now it makes sense. And they really help forward the plot, yet keep that fun that Evil Dead's known for with that ayahuasca trip. Like I was saying, the episode's mostly exposition, but it was still rather enjoyable. And we're almost at the halfway point next week. But that'll do it for this week's episode. Stay tuned for next week. We're going to be talking episode 5. And if you have a spare minute or two, please visit our Kickstarter page at stonerman.net. There you can find information on our show, our other podcasts, our other after shows. And you can also find our Kickstarter. And if you have a buck or two, please donate. Help us get a finished animation of our show, Stoner Man. Not only to show you the fans, but to show studios, help get our name out there. And if you can't afford to donate, the best way you can help is comment, rate, subscribe. It really helps get our name out there, and we would really appreciate it. And we'll keep doing this each and every week just for you guys, the fans. And as always, stay with my friends and have a groovy night.